now we're going to see how we can use a button, a push button. So you're going to need for this tutorial your Arduino board and with a USB cable, and an LED and a push button, as well as a breadboard to wire everything together. So for this little project, what we're going to try to do is just to control the LED using a push button. We're going to do that by creating a digital input. So we have our digital out LED on pin 13, and then we're going to create a button, and we can put that button, we can wire it on any of the 14 pins, except of course from pin 13, which is already used for our LED. So I'm going to put it on pin number 2, for example. Now you're going to have to do some work in wiring that button correctly, so that we can measure it. So what you will do is that you will you will connect your button on pin number 2 on one side, and this is a symbol that represents a switch, and then and on the other side you'll want to put it to ground. So so when you will close that switch, this will set the pin number 0 to ground, and the Arduino will be able to detect that situation. So once we have that, what you can do is to check if the button has been switched on, is that you can use an if statement and say if, just simply if button dot is on, which would mean that if this is true, then it means that you're currently pushing the button, and if you release it, this would be false. Another way that is a bit more simple to do this is simply to say if button. So if button or if button is on is the same thing. I prefer to use that version. I think it's just shorter and simpler. So so now I'm using a condition. I'm saying if button. So if this is happening, if I'm pushing the button, then LED dot on, and I want to say, for example, else. So if I'm not pushing the button, LED dot off. So if you upload it to your board and you have set up your button correctly on pin number 2, and you have your LED on pin number 13, you will see the LED being activated by the button. Now, of course, for example, if you want to invert that, if you want to say, okay, when I'm not pushing the button, here's what's happening. When I'm not pushing the button, the LED should be on, and if I am pushing the button, the LED should be off. I could simply add a not operator to the conditions. You could say this reads as if not button. So if the button is not on, then LED should be switched on. So when the button is off, the LED will be switched on. And also, if the button is activated, then I will switch off the LED.